I'm sorry, I'm not English. That's why I use a speaker.
Hello, my name is Takami. You are on my channel on a video about the history of my universe. In the background, you can see one of the drawing processes intended for my very good friend. It was their birthday. I didn't know how else to tell people about my universe, so I decided to make this video. No one would want to read my kilometer-long texts, especially since the plot isn't fully written yet, but the foundations are there. I wanted to share this alternate universe because I was told it's quite good, but none of my acquaintances fully know what's going on there. So let's figure it out together. Enjoy watching. To start, the basis. What is this alternate universe? Like many others, it should have a name, and it does. It's Pulso, based on the well-known series Skibidi Toilets. As silly as that might sound. But don't rush to turn off the video, because there will be no talk about any toilets. Only blood, fear, and pain. This universe is different because everything here is serious. Before creating it, I asked myself, what if our beloved Daft Punk had initially made his brainchild not a meme, but a genuine story-driven wave? What if this series had been serious from the very beginning, rather than having a plot appear only after a huge wave of views? This question was resolved, and thus the Pulsar was born. Backstory. It all starts very similarly. In the distant 20XX, humans learned to redirect their brain activity into cybernetic bodies. This allowed them to live longer and do more, but there was a problem after redirection. A person would forget who they were and what they did. But this could be fixed by helping them by pressing the right levers of consciousness. Those who became cyborgs were either scientists or military personnel. And in peacetime, there weren't too many of them. The transformation procedure was still under development, so there weren't many who strongly desired to become robots. Time passed, progress in this field grew, and eventually, there were enough cyborgs. But as is inherent to all living beings, people started to fear the unknown. Robots will replace you as sounds familiar, right? Exactly. Plot set up. Humanity split into 3 camps. The first defended the cyborgs because, in essence, they were still the same people, just with a minor defect due to forgetfulness after transferring their minds into a machine. The second were opposed, fervent haters of robots who wanted to ban the practice entirely. The third were just peaceful civilians who were somewhat indifferent to who was what and where. Amid intergovernmental debates, one of the countries proposed eliminating the cyborgs once and for all, and unfortunately, they were very convincing. They developed a special weapon, something that granted great power. Something that made people better, more resilient, and smarter, but without turning them into machines. A virus that somehow ended up in the hands of their leader. The robot haters shook hands and transformed themselves into superhumans, which resembled distorted creatures more than humans or robots. Something akin to mutants, monsters, and horrific beings. The infected began attacking even those people who didn't want to become like them. And then the alarm was raised. The number of infected grew very large, and the Alliance had sworn to protect human peace a long time ago. So their ranks quickly began to swell. There were more and more cyborgs, and the army of mutants met the army of the Alliance. The peaceful civilians were hidden in special bunkers with stasis capsules, so they would wake up several years later when the war was over. It was calculated that the war would end in about 5 years, at which point all capsules would deactivate and the civilians would awaken. Within the first year, all the bunkers were destroyed. Everything was dug up, broken, and the people were turned into the same monsters. No humans remained on the planet. Present day. I plan to start the plot from this point, 3 years into the war. The mutants are getting smarter, creating mechanisms and weapons against the Alliance. But the Alliance fights back just as fiercely. This is where my little star appears, a kind of main heroine, but not quite. There are many main characters in the plot, and she's one of them. Lorraine, the only survivor of all the people hidden in the bunkers. Her capsule was buried under a pile of concrete, and they couldn't dig down to her. But after a long time, earthquakes and shifts in the earth, the concrete crumbled and her damaged capsule opened, forcing her to wake up. She survived by a miracle, but not unscathed. Due to the damage, her body became charged with electricity, and the sensations after stasis aren't very pleasant. After climbing out of the devastated bunker and looking around, Laura realizes there are no people left. And generally, in this part of the city, there's no one. Just emptiness. The alliance has eyes and ears all over the cities and countries. And fortunately, they were the first to discover the girl amidst the ruins. A rescue operation was sent for her immediately after a camera detected movement in the extinct part of the city. She is taken to the cameraman base, where she is examined, and several new characters appear immediately. First, Jerry, a cameraman scientist who was already a cyborg before the war started. I'll add more, he was one of the first people to become one. Lorraine's father was also a scientist in America and worked with cameraman Jerry even back then. Little Laura, about 4 years old, lived in Italy with her mother, but after her mother's passing, little Lorraine was taken to America by her father. But he had no time to look after his daughter, so Jerry acted as her nanny. He was with her throughout her life from age 4 to 22, and he also sadly saw her off to the bunker. And now, 3 years later, they meet again. Plunger cameraman. Unfortunately, I don't have his full reference yet. Yes, he's here too. Unlike the original, he is a slightly calmer character, and his main weapons are two swords with rounded ends, like sickles. He's an elite agent and often works alone or in pairs with someone. My dear, my beloved, my wonderful dog speakerman. I love this character very much and I feel so terribly sorry that he dies in almost every universe. His role is just as good. He is both an elite agent and the commander of his own personal squad. Usually, he just gives orders and goes off to work alone. Here, his weapon remains unchanged at steel to knives, but his jetpack is slightly modified. Dog often attacks from the air or scouts from the sky, so his backpack mechanism has retractable metal wings. A special camouflage makes it look like just a bird flying from the ground. It also improves the hovering effect when he needs to stay in the air longer without wasting fuel. Perhaps Doc and Lorraine will have a romantic subplot, but shh, don't tell. War is war, but love is on schedule. Many characters will have pairs, so don't give me looks, they aren't the only lovebirds. Next comes a whole special elite squad I invented, consisting of 3 factions right away: cameramen, speakerman, and TV men. Grey Squad. This is an elite team that operates independently and is called to particularly dangerous locations or missions. Their leader is Grey, a cameraman, steadfast, serious, and calculating, but kind enough. His weapons are usually firearms and his intellect. I didn't invent him, he appeared in my dream, and I took it as a sign. Further, in the same squad, Jim, the cameraman cartographer. He studies all maps and terrains to plot the perfect path to the objective or set up an ambush. He's the eyes for the whole team of blind kittens. And he's also as grumpy as an old grandpa and constantly fusses. Olika Speakerman, a field medic. Strict but caring. He will scold the team for a mistake or a round, but will still patch up the metal pipes and seams. Alejandro, a Speakerman. He's the battering ram, the assault specialist. The wall of the whole team. A colic and very impulsive, hence he charges into all walls like a ram. But good-natured. Dante, the negotiator and liaison with the base. Receives and transmits information from command to the team and back. Probably the calmest in the whole team and non-confrontational, that's Dante. Nico, the cameraman. Bombardier and sapper. A smart boy and very attentive. Often works together with Alejandro. Bruno, the TV man. The only TV man in the whole squad in charge of electronics and drones. His task is to see, report, eliminate if possible. A mysterious guy, like a man of mystery. I don't know what else to say about him. Titans. Cameraman Titan, Speakerman Titan, TV Man Titan, they all remain in the plot. But along with them, they also have pilots. Pilots are cyborgs created specifically to pilot the Titans, to stabilize their condition in critical situations. But the Titans still have their own minds, which were also based on the personalities of the pilots. The pilot and the Titan are not the same thing. They are two different entities. But their personalities are similar because the Titan's mind was born from the pilot's mind, and then progressed independently. Let's start from the beginning. Cameraman Titan was based on the personality of pilot Troy. Troy is the pilot of Cameraman Titan, calm, kind, and a good strategist. He's the most balanced of all the pilots and also the second tallest. Speakerman Titan was based on the personality of pilot Arvin. Arvin, the pilot of Speakerman Titan, just a sharp, noisy, and a choleric personality. He gets angry very often, the smallest thing annoys him. He's the shortest of the pilots. TV Man Titan was based on the personality of pilot Kyle. Kyle, the pilot of TV Man Titan, a relaxed guy. He's the most laid-back of all the pilots, loves to show off, and is simply charming. The tallest of all the pilots. Other characters. I would like to add that every character has their own name and nationality. For example, the TV woman's name is Honey, and she's from Japan or Korea, haven't decided exactly. The speaker woman is from China, and her name is Huey. And the camera woman's name is Amelia. The women of the Alliance also have their own team made up of these 3 ladies. Their squad works together almost always, and they have their own fighter jets. Hence they often work in the sky. They are the real night witches. There are many more characters that haven't been mentioned, like Simp Cameraman, TV Shadow, etc. Because all of this is still under development. I really wanted to share all of this from my mind with you. Because I plan to do something bigger in the future. Based on the entire plot I've conceived, I plan to create an animated project in the future. It will be difficult and take a long time, but I really want to. And someday I will definitely do it. I haven't mentioned or fully explained many details yet because there really is a lot. Lorraine will later develop electrokinesis abilities. Someone will die, be resurrected, survive. Fight, get married. A new Alliance faction will appear that was under development all 3 years of the war. Lampmen. An Alliance faction that has been in development since the very beginning of the war. Specifically to counter the mutants. But because their construction bases were repeatedly destroyed by mutants, and potential cyborgs were eliminated, the work was constantly reset and started over, until they finally found a secluded place in Antarctica. There, the work on building the lamp cyborgs improved. They were made by the same cyborg cameramen, speakerman, and TV men. In a year and a half, they managed to create a sufficiently large number of lamp people and their Titan. So they will also appear in the plot later. They are also currently under development by me regarding designs and main figures. Each Alliance faction has its own leader, and for the lamps, due to constant mutant invasions, a glitch occurred, and 2 individuals both consider themselves the leader and constantly argue about who is in charge. As my best friend said, like a married couple. I have a rough design for them, but it's not final. I still plan to finish it. Mutants. The mutants are also very varied. They can be killed, some easier, some harder, but even if you kill them, the living ones will gather their corpses and construct a huge mutant, with mechanical parts from them. Believe me, it's not a pleasant sight. They also have their own leader, and the virus itself was essentially created and sent to Earth by the Astro faction, to incite the war. Well, that's all for now. It was very difficult to gather all the puzzle pieces together, to convey everything in my head to you, but thank you so much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed listening about my idea and that it doesn't all look terrible. It's still under development. Thank you all for your attention until we meet again. And success to you in your creative endeavors.